Okay, so here we are in Solids 2022. What we're having a look at here is the updated CAD Direct. So CAD Direct now gives us some additional options. So look in the bottom right hand corner. Previously we had our NX PRT for part sheet metal assemblies, all that single file. We can also do JT, SLD ASM, SolidWorks assemblies, SolidWorks parts, steps, parasolids on there. So I've got some solid ASM parts, steps, parasolid. I'm going to JT or NX. I'm not going to worry about those. More common ones that we're going to get step, parasolid, and our SolidWorks ones. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go and find our base file. So following on from the downloads of the kitchen, last time I transferred all those all the files over to Solid ones. So what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to go into kitchen and I'm going to go and find one of these ones that's modeled in SolidWorks. So we've got our SolidWorks. We can go and we can just open that using our CAD Direct. So notice CAD Direct insert file, and we can click open. We're not going to get prompted assembly or part. CAD Direct will bring it in the way it is on there. So we can see our kitchen's come in. That's the wrong way around. So let's just get to our home position, make sure move on select is on, select the sub-assembly, use shift and click on the plane in the middle of the steering wheel, and then go and use that steering wheel to go and spin that round 90 degrees, that looks like. And then I sometimes like this to be in a kind of better position, so I'm just going to go and position this on the coordinate system on there. Okay, so we've got that looking good now. Okay, so now we've got that item. We can also work with configurations, but we do need to save it first. So I'm just going to save it, use my auto assign on the data management to go and do this. We've now got our options for our configurations. So I'm just going to call this Chris and select OK and close that on there. And because this is an assembly, we can go in here and we can go and hide the items. So I can see that's one of the parts that I want to hide. I want to get rid of the hood because I'm going to go and replace that. These little other components, actually created that as a sub-assembly in there. So we can actually go and say, actually, I'm going to go and get rid of those completely. And it might be that we might not want this unit at all, or we might want to remove the plinth or something. We can go and do that if we need to. So we'll have a look at that in a bit. So if we go back to our option on here, CAD Direct, haven't used this before, so it's not on my option, but we might see that appear later on there. So if I go to my file, use my, go back to my standard parts, keep going back to here. So let's have a look, see what we've got in our step files. So in our step files, let's go change that. I'm just going to change that to all documents just to make it a little bit easier. So we've got kitchen sink or sink, I'm not sure which one it is, so we'll just go and open that one. No conversion, no extra files, no saving, just kind of a direct option on there. So this file now is going to come up with our normal assemble command. I'm just going to snap that back to the top of the screen. And we can go and assemble this like this is a normal component. So I can see on there, it's picked up that face, and it's going to allow me to go and assemble that as that's a normal kind of component on there. So I can do that. I can go and select that on there, use our standard shortcuts, go and flip that, and then go and drag that across into the rough kind of position that I want. It's just a bit of a render really, so I'm not kind of too worried. I might just go and raise that up a little bit so that looks a little bit better on there. So that's not looking too bad. So next, let's have a look. If we let's have a look, see what else we can do on here. So assembly features, and let's do a cut on there. So we're going to do our assembly features on here. We're going to go and select that face. I've got auto rotate on, but I'm just going to use that middle mouse button and go and spin that back round on there. And what I want to do a rectangle by center and just do a bit of a cut on there to make sure that is going to allow that cut to look okay on there. Just going to spin it around, I can't see exactly where I'm going. That'll probably be enough. Close the sketch. And then we'll go and do a finite cut. So I don't want to go all the way down. I want to just go down, say, let's go 300mm on there. It's going to select those parts, like their normal solid edge parts, and finish. Okay, haven't quite got the parts quite right. That's because I've actually gone to remove this. So let's just go back into there and just go and remove the sink from that step. So we'll go back to that step. I'm just going to use Control to deselect the sink and accept. We seem to have one part missing, so I'm just going to go and find that part that's missing. So let's hover over there and find that. Is it that or that? Make sure that's selected. Okay, it's that one. So we know where it is now, so we can go and do that one quickly and go and get that one I did. I think it's that one. There we go, looking good. Okay, so supports assembly features as well. Great. So let's go back to our CAD Direct. So go Home, Insert Component, CAD Direct. Let's see what else we've got. So we'll go into SolidWorks files this time. Let's go and do a kettle. So we've got an assembly, we've got the parts in the same folder. If we are using the parts, it's always a good idea to have that kind of that flat option on there. So we've got a kettle, and I can go and shove that. Let's go and pop that in the corner on there. And then let's go and drag him around a little bit. Let's probably pop him over there. And we'll leave that like that. Looks great, so much quicker without having to do that insert, without going and having to convert it over. So let's have a look at parasolid. So we've got a microwave here in a parasolid format. We can always go to the options if it doesn't work right, but notice there aren't the same kind of options because it's just going to go and bring that in its native style format. So there we go, we've got our microwave. It's recognised all the faces, so we can work with the faces without too many issues on there. So we can see that I wanted to go and put the microwave in the corner on there. And let's go and pop that on there. And let's go and drag that across a little bit. Not brilliant. Let's just go and reposition that one a little bit instead. There we go, pop the kettle there. There you go, looking good. Okay, so let's have a look at something else. Let's just keep going with this. You can see what we can do. So if you're happy with that, you can end it. I'm just going to go and bring a few more parts in as well. So let's have a look at the toaster. It's a step file. I think we've got the toaster in the step file, or we've got it in the SolidWorks format. So it's quite nice that we can go and bring it in depending on if we've got colours or not on those. So that toaster, I'm just going to go select on there and see. So we haven't got the colours on that one. I think it should be like red and white. So let's go and see what happens if we bring the SolidWorks one instead. So let's go back to there, SolidWorks, go to the toaster and open that one. There we go, I've got the colour this time. So we can go back to get rid of the old toaster. Go and choose the new toaster, edit those relationships. And this looks like the base. I can't see any feet, so I'm just going to do that straight down there. Pop it in this corner this time. That's good enough potentially. Okay, I might actually just do that face with a, say, 75mm offset to the back face and use the F key and then just drag that to position there. There we go, looking good, looking smart. Okay, hope that's enough. The one thing that's very good about this is if we do update one of these, if we right click on these, we've got these options. We can update the geometry, so it doesn't update automatically. If the part changes, we can do an update on there, and we can do a break CAD Direct link, which will go and turn that into its own part. So that's going to go and have that on there, and it's not going to be linking back to that other component. But notice we haven't got the open or edit. That file is classed as a internal component. So if we look on there, we've got our options and we can see that. Not sure whether we can see that in there. Let's have a look on there. So on there you can see that we've got those parts. So we can turn those back into their own parts if we want to, and that will go and break those links. Okay, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. Happy to answer them.